Hillary Clinton today accepting full responsibility for the election loss, except for the part when she blamed Comey, Putin, WikiLeaks, misogyny, and the media.
So this week, Hillary Clinton took full responsibility for her loss to Donald Trump in the election, except the fact that she didn't really take full responsibility. So she was in New York Tuesday talking about her upcoming book, and she was asked about what she thought about the loss to Donald Trump. And this is what she said.
I take absolute personal responsibility. I was the candidate. I was the person who was on the ballot. And I am very aware of, the challenges, the problems, the, shortfalls that we had. Did we make mistakes? Of course we did. Did I make mistakes? Oh my gosh, yes, you'll read my confession.
Did I make mistakes? Oh my gosh, yes I did. You'll read my confession. You'll see I made terrible mistakes. Except, no, it wasn't my fault. It was James Comey.
But the reason why I believe we lost were the intervening events in the last 10 days.
So there we go. The last 10 days, what she's referring to there is James Comey and the FBI letter. So despite the fact that she takes full responsibility for losing to the least popular candidate of all time, including her, Donald Trump was less popular than Hillary Clinton was. She lost. Still. But it was James Comey's fault. Now, there is some truth to this. Now, hold on. Don't freak out. There's some truth to this. The reality is, the letter did show that it moved the needle a little bit on Hillary Clinton's popularity. But here's the thing. Why was she in a position to lose to Donald Trump anyway? The fact that her campaign and her candidacy was so fragile that one event in the last 10 days could absolutely destroy her campaign, that's an issue. You shouldn't be that close to losing to Donald Trump. Now, I'm going to show you a clip from David Axelrod. So David Axelrod was the chief strategist for Barack Obama over his 2 campaigns, and he also worked for Obama in the White House as a senior advisor. So Axelrod is generally considered to be part of the so-called establishment. So the corporate class, the corporate Democrats, that wing of the party. He's up there with them. Normally, so even though he did campaign against Hillary Clinton in 2008, it's fair to say that Axelrod probably would have been a Hillary supporter in the last election. Now, I looked it up. I couldn't find who Axelrod actually supported, and I think it's simply because he was a CNN commentator. So he didn't want to take visible sides in the primaries. Obviously, once it got to the election, you can imagine Axelrod obviously wanted Hillary Clinton to beat Trump. But when it comes to the primaries, Hillary or Bernie, it's not clear what side he was on, but it's fair to say he most likely would have been on Hillary's side. Now, I'm saying this because he's going to really hit Hillary Clinton here, and with a dose of reality of why she really lost the election. So let's get to the first clip and then talk about it.
She has a legitimate beef because Comey's letter was instrumental, I think, in her defeat. So in a narrow sense, she is right about it. But Jim Comey didn't tell her not to campaign in Wisconsin after the convention. Jim Comey didn't say, don't put any resources into Michigan until the final week of the campaign. And one of the things that hindered her in the campaign was a sense that she never fully was willing to take responsibility for her mistakes, particularly that server.
Exactly. What Axelrod said there is exactly correct. That's why she lost. She didn't campaign in Wisconsin. She barely campaigned in Michigan. These states, the Rust Belt that she lost, that's why she lost the election. That's why she lost the election. She would have beat Donald Trump had she kept these normally Democratic states. And Axelrod knows a bit about campaigning. He won 2 campaigns with Barack Obama. So he's a Democrat. He has no reason to hit Hillary Clinton with any sort of malice. He wanted her to win. And he recognizes that she would have won had she properly campaigned, had she been a better candidate, had she maybe been, more progressive and discussed certain issues that Donald Trump was hitting on, that Bernie Sanders was hitting on. Now we know, Democrats know, liberals know, Donald Trump is full of shit. But the reality is he was discussing a message that resonated with the Rust Belt. And Hillary Clinton was not hitting that same message. She was too busy discussing about social issues and the fact that her campaign slogan was "I'm with her." That doesn't tell you anything. That's just like, be with me, I'm the leader, I'm with her, pick her. It doesn't mean anything. As stupid as it is, "Make America Great Again" means something to people. "I'm with her" is just all about the candidate. How is that a winning message? When your message is just about voting for me, how is that a winning message? So she didn't focus on policy as much as she needed to win. We can see that. So for her to play this game, for Hillary to play this game and act like she takes full responsibility and then goes on to blame James Comey, no, do it. You need to do some introspection. Do a deep dive on why you lost, why you were a bad candidate. Your connections to Wall Street, your connections to big money, the fact that you didn't campaign in states that you needed to win. So these are the real reasons that Hillary Clinton lost. And it's good to see somebody who is part of the Democratic establishment acknowledge that. Now, there's one last clip here from David Axelrod. Let's check it out.
It takes a lot of work to lose to Donald Trump. Let me tell you, he was the least popular presidential candidate to win in the history of polling. And so it wasn't just the Comey letter. The fact that she was in a position to lose because of the Comey letter is something that deserves some introspection.
That's essentially what I just said. But that's exactly right. The fact that you lost to the least popular candidate in the history of polling, that tells you that you lost because people didn't come out to vote for you. And she'll argue, her supporters will argue, well, she won the popular vote. She did win the popular vote. But that's not the system. The system is the Electoral College. You lost states that Democrats would normally win. That's you losing the election. Donald Trump didn't win the election as so much that Hillary Clinton lost the election. This was hers to lose, and she lost it. And the sooner that Democrats do some introspection on this and realize why they lost, the better set up they'll be to win more seats in 2018 and then hopefully defeat Donald Trump in 2020. They have to recognize the mistakes they made. Otherwise, it's just going to be a repeat of 2016.